I just read a commentary by Mr. Rickford Burke on Facebook. He said in his commentary, if APNU AFC leaders are not prepared to lead, the people shall lead them. I am unapologetic, indefatigable, and steadfast supporter of the APNU AFC coalition. Since the March 2nd, 2020 election, the ensuing post-election saga, the leadership of the coalition has been too silent and seemingly disconnected from the hundreds of thousands of supporters, Guyanese citizens, who voted for them on March 2nd, 2020. Some call it abandonment. More particularly, President Granger's silence or disengagement amidst Guyana's worst contemporary political crisis is chronicled by some commentators as an embarrassing lack of leadership. I am concerned about the government and the APNU AFC coalition posture. It is a ridiculous one. The president must step up and lead. This is his mandate as leader of the coalition and president of the Republic of Guyana. He must and respect his responsibility unconditionally. Coalition voters deserve to be properly represented as well as unceasingly engaged and updated on his exhaustive and protracted election process. We should not have to advise government and coalition leaders that it is unhealthy for them to be silent while the nation is being held hostage by a power-hungry cartel. A cartel whose leaders are criminal defendants in multiple criminal cases pending in courts. A cartel that is financed by criminal elements, dozens, yes, dozens, of whom are targets of multiple U.S. Justice Department investigation. The void created by the unacceptable silence has given the cartel latitude to occupy and saturate the entire political space with fake news, lies, propaganda, and other nefarious designs. A narrative which have dire consequences for Guyana's sovereignty and national security. Most important, Bharat Jagdeo has openly threatened coalition supporters and their families, along with other public servants and their families. Yet, there has been no response or caution from the coalition, no assurance that this will not be tolerated. In this environment of unprecedented treachery and national anguish from a devastating pandemic and an equally paralyzing political crisis, anxious voters deserve better disconcerting disengagement. It would have been disenchantment. Guyanese have signaled an abhorrent unwillingness to be overrun by a criminal cartel in a conspiracy with business interests from the private sector whose motives are influenced by Guyana's oil resources. Strategic silence is different from disengagement, which wittingly or unwittingly ferments perception of disinterest and abandonment. APUFC supporters will not tolerate political abuse while their political leaders ignore abject racism, arson, assault, and threat against them from the PPP cartel. This is not a schoolyard fight. This is a confrontation with armed criminals. The same criminals are bullying GCOM and threatening citizens who oppose them, all under the guise of democracy. We all know that the proposed recount by GCOM is unlawful, but the leadership support it without any explanation. An unlawful process cannot produce a lawful outcome. No, not. Now is not the time for silence. The situation demands strong, resolute leadership. Now is not the time to be irresolute, indecisive, therefore, etc. Therefore, it is time that Mr. President, Mr. David Granger, steps up and effectively lead Guyana out of this political morass. This is what he was elected to do. By now, it should be patently obvious that if leaders are not prepared to lead, the people are prepared to lead. God bless Guyana.